What's up guys, welcome to episode 3 of our survival let's play here on the channel. This episode we explore a lot of the caves and cliffs update. Being as this is the first time I've got to experience it in game, it was a very interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in a minute. Hey there, you ever think to yourself, what can I do to help this really awesome YouTuber I just found? Just walk on right over here and click the subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Thanks. Now enjoy your video. To start off this session, I decided at the end of the last video to start my own personal mine. You saw me break out the little box to do so, and as I headed down I decided to just dig down to diamond level, which later on in the video I didn't know that levels had changed along with ore locations, so my main goal was just to strip mine. Being as I had no iron to begin with, I went through a lot of stone tools in the process. But thankfully, we were rewarded very early with coal. You guys know I was struggling just burning wood to get charcoal. I had no torches really, and I had no way to cook my food besides using random logs, planks, and any charcoal I had around. So it was a welcome sight to see. As you guys see in the video, very early in my strip mining progress, I ended up finding a huge cavern. I didn't quite know how huge at the time, but as things progress, I come to find that this thing is never ending. I decided to go back to my house though and sleep and work on any chores I had, because there were quite a few skeletons down there just lighting me up with arrows, and I wanted nothing to do with that. Before I could get to my daily chores, I ended up running into a creeper. As you saw, things did not go my way. I thought I played it correctly and that I was an ample amount of blocks away from the creeper after my second hit, but he sadly blew up and destroyed my pretty house. Luckily, nothing inside was destroyed, so I quickly filled it in with cobblestone, deciding I would fix it up correctly later on. My original plan to deal with the skeletons in case they were still there was to build a bow and maybe some arrows since I had some flint laying around. But I guess you cannot turn wool blocks into string to make a bow, and I was one string short, so I ended up murdering that sheep that you saw out of cold blood for literally nothing. After building a bridge from my little strip mine to the furthest wall away from me in the ravine so I could safely get down, I quickly came across plenty of resources. Tons of iron, tons of copper, and of course, tons of monsters. I had no problem taking these guys out, but I definitely have a few close calls this episode. I'm not actually sure if the axe is the best weapon to go about these things, but it did me some justice here, so I'm not mad about it. Thankfully, I brought plenty of food to keep myself healthy, as I had struggled with that in the past as well, but having the farms as well as the crop field definitely helps out a lot in these exploration videos. At this point in the session, I have secured the surrounding area from any monsters and just decide to farm as much as I possibly can with my little stone pickaxe. Eventually, I head back up to the surface to my little hobble hole that I dug beneath my house specifically for mining resources and decide to smelt a bunch of what I have to try and make some better tools. Here you can see me finally building out my little underground shelter for all my mining necessities, and I decide to build a wall and put some doors at the entrance, not knowing if any monsters would walk up from the bridge that I built beneath. I decided to build myself plenty of furnaces so I could get as much ore in and out as fast as possible, and then as you see here, a pretty embarrassing moment. I had not yet had the opportunity to play with copper since its addition to the game, so I wasn't sure what the ore was actually used for. I tried to build a pickaxe out of it, not wanting to waste my iron as I assumed it was worse than iron at the time, but you can't do that. I quickly find out its only use is to be made into blocks or into lightning rods. No idea what lightning rods are made for, but blocks I might explore and try to spruce up my house a little bit more. After finding out that copper was of no use to me at the moment, I decided to just use up my iron. So I smelted all of that, built myself a shield and plenty of iron pickaxes, as well as shears for my sheep so I wouldn't have to kill them for their wool if that's what I wanted. And then I decided to also make an axe. Not knowing which weapon would be better, sword or axe, I just went ahead and made both. After gearing up with new tools and weapons, no armor yet at this time, but I figured the shield would be plenty to help me, especially against my weakness being the skeletons. I head back down into the ravine and decide to farm up even more to try and build myself a set of armor, which goes pretty well. I see as things get darker and the blocks change to this new darker black cobblestone. It has an official name, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. I noticed the ores start to change as well. Lapis, redstone, and then I run into my new foe, the witch. Witch is one of those enemies where I can't recall when she was added, but I wasn't sure if I was playing at the time or not. Back when I played, it was a lot of me and my friends playing creative or building crazy things in survival worlds. Not a whole lot of exploration or any mob fighting, boss fighting. I don't even believe the Ender Dragon was in at that time, but I could be wrong. I do know I've never beat him, and I don't remember ever beating a witch, so I wasn't sure what her abilities were. I, however, have watched plenty of Minecraft content in the past few months, so I knew that she would throw potions at me, but I wasn't sure what the potion effects would be. As you see, I end up killing her, thankfully, but I didn't know if her ticking poison would actually kill me right off, or if it had some other effect at the end. I tried my best to survive the full duration, and thankfully it only takes you down to half a heart at most, but then all these other mobs ran up on me, and I was feeling pretty stressed out. With the help of my new iron tools, though, I was able to secure all the kills I needed, and then built myself into a little box in the corner until everything had passed and I was able to get ample health to continue with the exploration. A pretty cool moment here after that big battle when things were all said and done and it was peaceful again. I continued deeper and deeper into this cave, ravine, whatever it's called, and I find my first diamond. This was huge. I wasn't sure if I was going to find it so quickly, how I was going to find it. I was researching while playing, trying to see what level I was supposed to be at, but thankfully I come across it naturally, which makes it all the more sweeter. The silence didn't last long, however, as soon as I spotted the diamond, I was getting arrows shot at me, zombies coming left and right like I'm Rick Grimes. But I thankfully avoid all of the drama from that, and I build myself a little bridge to secure it. Kill off the mobs. I don't show that on screen, but I just continue to venture further and further, picking up plenty of ores and even my second diamond right after. As you see on screen, a little bit of time passed from Diamond 2 to Diamond 3, 4, 5, and 6, but I find a nice cluster. I do, however, regret mining these diamonds now, looking back, because after recording this video, I ended up watching some other content online and saw people starting survival worlds, but waiting until they could get a fortune pickaxe from a villager, one of the books, and then coming and mining their diamonds. Something I'm definitely going to try to do now moving forward, but I could have gone way more out of these patches. But you live and you learn. It's still my first time. I'm still fairly new, but still really nice to have 6 diamonds now to my name. I decided to take a little break from my adventures down below and head back to the top to pick up any crops I needed, shave my sheep because they were looking a little too warm, feed all of my animals, get them having babies again, just so that things stayed nice and occupied at base camp. Take the time to make sure Any chicken eggs I get, I am just currently smashing on the walls of their pen to get as many as possible. They are getting a little too loud though, so I might look to different avenues to continue to get my feathers and my eggs and whatnot. I did see in another video from Grian, I believe they had a dropper system set up for their chickens, so it wasn't too loud, but they got plenty of eggs and they didn't have to collect them themselves. Definitely something I'm going to look to explore in the future. Just have to get better with my redstone and all my mechanical skills in the game. But after that, I head over back to my crop fields and decide to build out the sugarcane farm and make it a little more accessible for myself. I didn't bring enough dirt with me, however, which is fine. I end up finishing it later, but I knew I would need tons of sugarcane to build tons of books so that I could eventually get a pretty stacked enchanting table. I head back down into the cave, which just continues to wind and get deeper and deeper, and I end up stumbling across a mob spawner. I decided to just light it up for now, and then I tried to search for chests in the corners because I remember there being some, but there were none. I don't know if maybe it didn't spawn in correctly, or if I'm looking in the wrong spots in the room, but I'll have to look into that for next session. But I want to keep it for now to try and build an XP farm pretty soon, just because I have an enchantment table set up now, as you'll see later on in the video, and I want to be able to continue to get stronger and stronger gear. After marking out the mob spawner and making sure I saved a screenshot of the coordinates, which you might see me do a lot from now on because I found out how to finally do it, I head over and try to find some lava because, as you see, I built myself some buckets with my remaining iron. I also at this point now have a full set of iron armor, which is sweet. Makes me feel a lot more confident about venturing deeper into these tunnels. But my idea here is to get lava buckets to use for my smelting and any food cooking, so that I could save the coal and any charcoal that I make for torches to light up the area in case I wanted to build a legitimate mob farm up in the sky. After successfully receiving 4 lava buckets for my 4 furnaces, I decided not to use them quite yet because I wasn't sure actually how many obsidian blocks were on the portal I found in episode 1. I didn't know how many were in the ruined portal, so I decided to head over there first in case I would need the 4 lava buckets to build my nether portal so that I didn't have to go back down into the ravine right away. And as you see, there were plenty of blocks. I also decided to mine up any netherrack or those lava blocks because I had a plan to use the lava blocks for defenses around a village in case I wanted to farm out pillager raids and do anything with mobs in that sort of gray area of self-defense. So I mine up everything that I can, even take the chest back with me, and then it's time to head into the nether. After building my portal in my basement, I decided to be pretty safe and put any valuables away that I wouldn't want to lose because I wasn't sure what the nether was like anymore. Again, I'd seen a few videos, so I knew some things, but my main goal here was just to plot it out and see if I could find any bastions or nether fortresses because I would need those moving forward to get to the end if I wanted to kill the dragon. First thing I noticed when stepping foot in the nether was how absolutely gorgeous it looked compared to the last time that I had played. Not to mention, the music in this place was absolutely incredible. I'd love to see changes like that take place. I actually felt a sense of dread and I was nervous being in there. That's how eerie the music and the environment had become, which I absolutely love to see. On arriving in the nether, my first goal was to mine up any resources I might need or want. I decided to mine a bunch of fossils because I know you can turn those into bone meal, and I figured I might want those to jumpstart any future crops or to just expand my current crop field. I also picked up some shroom lights, as you'll see in a bit, because they look amazing. Even got one of the little red vines which I can use on a base in the future. Picked up some soul sand because I love the blue fire aesthetic. and even just mined up any quartz or gold that I saw, figuring I might need those in the future, especially the gold if I wanted to trade pigment instead of farm out any Eye of Enders, or Ender Pearls, I guess is the correct term. So I just went around and completely ravaged the Nether around my portal before heading back, because I wasn't necessarily ready to go full deep, full head first right into the Nether completely. I was still a little antsy about it, especially with the aesthetic that they have supplied, and the atmosphere just made me feel uneasy. So I got out of there pretty quick after exploring for a little bit, and then it was back to the farm. Upon returning to the farm, I could hear what sounds like lava. I was at first headed out to finally get my pigs now that my potato crop has finally bore fruit. So as I was heading out to get the pigs, I heard what sounded like lava pretty close under the surface, and I decided to dig it out. And I actually marked it with the soul sand and soul soil that I just got, and lit them up with blue flame so I knew not to fall into the pit. But it was an easier way for me to get lava than going all the way down into my mine, so that I could use that in the future for building furnaces, or I guess supplying furnaces with fuel. So that was pretty nice to see. And then it was getting right back in to leading my new group of piggies back into their forever home of the dirt pit. And now I had finally collected all 4 animals that I wanted. I'm not sure if there's more animals you can domesticate for food, or any, resources you might need. I know there's cats and dogs, which I would definitely get to eventually, but I wasn't sure if there was any more farm animals that I could get. I'll have to look into that in case I need to add any more dirt pits to the farm. But things are looking up, and they're looking pretty good for the future. Things are coming together, and I'm pretty excited about it. After getting things squared away with the new occupants of the dirt pits, I decided it was probably time to build an enchantment table. Knowing I had the extra diamonds to spare, and I had the extra obsidian as well, I decided I should probably finish out my farm, so I did that so that I could get plenty of paper for bookshelves. I couldn't quite build the full setup right now, but I will be able to pretty soon, considering how big my sugarcane farm has gotten, and will probably get even bigger because I might want the paper or the books to trade down the line with any villagers that I might breed or set up. But as you see, I get things sorted out. I wasn't sure how to make bookshelves at first, just had to look online, which of course I have the recipe in game. I just need to remember that. So I get things crafted. I set up on the top of my house for now. I'll probably move it in the future, but for now that's a decent place. Notice I need more lapis, so I gotta do some more mining in the future, which I definitely will, because there's still plenty to explore down there. I still haven't even completely filled out that cave system below my house. I haven't it all the way up. I haven't taken all the resources yet. So that's definitely something I look to do. I know, because I mentioned it last episode, there's actually 2 ravines, maybe one, and they're connected somehow. But over by the village, just over the hill, there's even more huge cave systems to explore. So there's plenty to do in terms of adventure. And I look forward to doing that in the following episodes for you guys, and I'm so excited to continue to explore the game because there's so much new, like so many new things that have been added, and it's absolutely just mind blowing to me. I still have to find I don't remember the name, but it's like the corrupted zone that they added in the caves with the warden. I've heard there's plenty of loot. I want to head out to the oceans and look for shipwrecks. There's tons of things I want to do. So I can't wait to get into that with you guys. Again, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment any suggestions or tips. Tell me what you want to see, what adventures you want me to go on next. Give me an idea and just point where you want me to go, and I'll head over there because I want to make the content that you guys want to watch. So, thank you guys for watching this one. Again, like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. I absolutely love seeing the views on my videos. start to climb up. I have so much in store for you guys, and I'm absolutely pumped to make more videos. I am loving it so far. So I can't wait to get into the next one. I look forward to it. As always, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.